Hey everybody, welcome to Optimism Fractal. We're here for our, I believe, 51st event in our fifth season. Here we are now. So I have the pleasure to be here with amazing builders, and I hope you all enjoy the event, enjoy the show. If anyone wants to say hello, as always, feel free to do so. I have a presentation to share to introduce Optimism Fractal and kick us off with the agenda, so I'll get into that as well. So with that, hope everybody has a great time.
Yeah, baby!
That's right. Will's feeling good. Yeah, baby, some collaborative competitions that we're going to embark in. So it's a chance for everybody to step into the spotlight with the Respect game, a stage where you can showcase your work, build meaningful connections, and elevate governance across a super chain. You can collaborate, reach consensus, and earn respect. We invite everyone to share and join the events every Thursday at 17 UTC. Optimism Fractal is where we're at. We have posted in the governance forum too. As I mentioned, we're at our fourth event of Optimism Fractal Season 5. We've been having amazing experience. You can find more details about what's going on gov.optim.io, such as some of the highlights that have been going on in Optimism Fractal over the past year plus and over the course of the season. And of course, you can go to optimismfractal.com to learn more. Optimism Fractal is a community dedicated to fostering collaboration, awarding public goods creators, and optimizing governance on the superchain. And we do this largely through our weekly events. So every Thursday, 17 UTC, we host weekly events that provide a perfect place to network, make friends, collaborate with talented builders on the super chain, and we play the Respect game, which is a wonderful on-chain social game pioneering new forms of coordination where we go into breakout rooms with up to 6 people. Everybody shares what they did to help Optimism. We collaborate to rank each other's contributions, and then we earn Respect, which is a non-transferable token that provides growing benefits as our reputation system expands. It helps you build your reputation on the super chain and all sorts of good stuff that comes from that. And we produce videos, we record videos so you can step into the stage, as I said before, share your work, showcase what you're doing, help others learn about what is going on in Optimism, and also watch the videos too, of course, and share with friends to help people learn about the superchain. And we're building with Respect too. So many of the people on the call here and in the community are building open source software to play the Respect game and make decisions with Respect. You can learn more in the Optimistics toolkit, and you can check out all the links to learn more. Optimism Fractal is an excellent place to develop your on-chain career and business. You can grow your reputation with the Respect token. These events provide opportunities for both for individuals and people who might be interested in implementing the Respect game and Respect into their organization or community. And you can also enjoy the harvest. We have lots of benefits on the website that you can explore. And there's also lots of feedback. We've received over 100 pieces of feedback, really saying that people love Optimism Fractal for various reasons that you can explore. We have a Notion site and open source repositories where you can help build in public and collaborate with us. And there's lots of opportunities to earn funding on the superchain with retro funding, missions, and all kinds of different opportunities on the superchain. Optimism Fractal is pioneering the future of governance. We've been pioneering this with various community members for several years now. We have core intents with protocol specifications that we follow closely to adhere to true democratic principles. We have a Sages Council that you can join to help lead the community and help pioneer the future of governance with fractal democracy. And we're also building these on-chain tools like OrDAO, Respect.Games app. We're implementing and we're using HATS protocol for respect-based role allocation. The Respect token is used in the Optimism Town Hall for choosing topics. We have all sorts of great stuff that's on the website. Optimism Fractal was founded by Optimistics in October 2023, a team of builders, and is also supported by educational resources from Eden Fractal. You can learn more about these websites and the weekly events and different tools and so forth that support Optimism Fractal, as well as the Superchain, the interconnected network of blockchain scaling Ethereum on the OP stack with Base, World, Zonium, Inc., Unichain, Zora, and so many more. You can learn more at optimism.io to get involved with the superchain. And the best way to get involved with Optimism Fractal is to join the weekly events and play the Respect game at Thursdays at 17 UTC. Whether you're new to Optimism or an experienced builder, it's a great place to join, and also invite friends too, which we highly encourage you to do so because we have lots of cool stuff and we love to meet new people and help grow Optimism together. You can RSVP on the website and also lou.mos, just Optimistics, where you can also RSVP for the Optimism Town Hall that happens after Optimism Fractal events and the Eden Fractal events that happen bi-weekly, kind of in support of these tools and so forth. And like and retweet and share all the good words, especially from Optimistics Twitter account, who puts out these tweets, inviting everyone to join, also promoting the videos too that we publish each week. And you can go to optimismfractal.com/videos to explore detailed timestamps and show notes for each episode. Last week we talked about, or we played some regen sports, and it was really fun. We had a great event, so appreciate everybody's participation in all these events, and really encourage people to dive into the videos to learn more about Optimism Fractal and the Superchain. Those are also on the Eden Creators YouTube channel as well, with lots of other exciting shows. And we love to see people like Will, great builders, love being rewarded for the work we produce, and yeah, encouraging people to tap into communities and building on this on the Superchain. So great to see. We love when people spread the word about Optimism Fractal and the Superchain, and are really glad that people are enjoying it. As a reminder, quick community news, the two apps are now like in testing, Fractogram and Respect.Games app. You can learn more about this at optimistics.io/tools. And they're open source and they're free, so you can use them. And we also have some topic proposals related to Optimism Fractal and the Superchain in general coming up with the Optimism Town Hall, which you can see in the topic proposal. Currently, the top topic is about Optimism Town Hall and Optimism Fractal planning in 2025. So if anyone wants to submit their votes there, with OPF, OP, or any badge holders want to submit their topics, and they can. And there's also been new updates to Optimism Season 7 that are on the governance forum. And we did a video about strategic vision at Eden Fractal's event, which has now been released too, for people who want to check out some related topics to what's going on with the tools and so forth for Optimism Fractal. So without further ado, we're going to play the Respect game. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here and listening. The Respect game, as I mentioned, is a exciting social game where everybody will showcase their work. If you're not familiar yet, you can learn more at optimistics.io/respect game or from the Optimism Fractal website. And basically, the rules are pretty simple. Also, there's some reasons why you want to play, but we're going to go into groups of up to 6 people in a random assortment, and then each person will get 4 minutes to share what they've done to help optimism. Generally, feel free to introduce yourself as well. And then, yeah, basically, we'll work to reach consensus on who helped the most, who helped the second most, who helped the third most, and so forth. And if we can reach 2/3 consensus, then everyone will receive respect. And respect is that soulbound token, and you'll receive more respect when you get a higher level. So feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to check out optimismfractal.com/welcome for the exact rules. And feel free to record your room too and share your screen and share any links. We're here to help promote what you're doing here and help support you. So if you have any questions or want to promote your work, then feel free. And we'll try to wrap it up probably 5 or 10 minutes before the top of the hour. So we'll have time to return to the community room before the breakout room, before the Option Town Hall begins as well. So with that, I hope that everyone has a awesome time, and I'll open up the breakout rooms in just a moment.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
I have to represent because he's not here, so it's all good.
That's right. Yes. Thank you for missing Patrick and his yeah babies,
Yeah.
but you have some but you have some great yeah babies as well, Will. And
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Jack.
yep, much appreciated. Okay. The breaker rooms are now open. And also, by the way, if somebody can record in room 1, that'd be appreciated. Suppose we'll wait a moment for Harvesto, who I think is going to be joining us momentarily, and also send a message to the other breakout room. I'm not sure if they heard me asking to record.
I think Will is aware.
Okay. Welcome, Harvesto. If anyone wants to go first and share what they did to help optimism, then feel free. If you have any questions, Harvesto, I think you'd done some research and you were here last time. So I think you have a good understanding of how the Respect game works, but if you have any questions about how it works, then feel free. And otherwise, if anyone wants to kick us off and share what they've been up to, then we can get started whenever everybody's ready. I just messaged the other group. Looks like everybody's pretty quiet here. I would recommend somebody go and volunteer to go first. Okay, cool. Thanks, Rosmari. Yeah, I get 2 thumbs up already. So
I
looks
go
like
first then.
okay, sounds good.
Okay. Can you please set the timer for me?
Yep, and start enough.
Okay. Thanks. So, um, this week I've been focusing mostly on releasing the videos from the past few weeks. 2 weeks, I think. So I published the recordings from Optimism Fractal, from last week's Optimism Fractal, as well as the Eden Fractal, which is another event that Dan hosts. That happened on bi-weekly on Wednesdays, and that was released as well. And also, so for those that worked on the on the titles and descriptions, and then also edited the Optimism Town Hall videos from the past 2 weeks for the first time as a separate videos. And I, for example, for the video from last week, from 2 weeks ago, that is now published. I also worked on just curating some resources here that I put in the description, as well as I created show notes that I'll show in a second. I worked on the titles and description, and I mainly worked on the intro video for the town hall, and which I can play now.
Welcome back.
That was with in collaboration with Dan. He provided me feedback, and the idea for the video was his as well.
Thanks, but by the way, we didn't hear the sound for some reason. We heard the sound for me speaking, but not for the intro. But
I don't
the
know,
sound was
it's
really cool
okay.
too. Okay, yeah, just letting people know. The sound is really nice. So thanks, Rosmari.
And then these are the show notes that you can explore. In there you can find timestamps for the video, as well as some links and more information like social media posts. And I'm working on curating more pages, more show notes for all of the town halls from this season. So this one and the next one from last week too, that's coming up and also being posted. I also promoted on Monday the events, the Optimism Fractal and the Town Hall events, and also promoted the video from last week, Optimism Fractal. And also I made a quick promotion for Optimism Fractals event today. This image Dan created, and I just put together the thread that you can see here. And same thing with the discourse forum post. I put it together. Again, linking to last week's video. I voted for topics here for the town hall topics. And yeah, as I mentioned, I've been creating a few pages for the town hall and like starting to put things in them and linking them and kind of making more of an order there. So I think that's it from me. I took 2 days off on Tuesday and Wednesday and half day today. So it's been a bit of a half week for me today or this week. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions in the chat, or you can feel free to ask directly. And I choose Eric to go next. Also nice to meet you, Harvesto. Yes.
Cool. Well, I had a good meeting with Will to discuss the future of how we make it easier for people to do training at different levels, a whole basic training scheme for Optimistics and fractals and things like that. So we had supposed to be a short meeting. I think it was like 90 minutes. We kind of got into it. So that was good. The second biggest thing is, for those that don't know, I'm actually doing a doctoral dissertation on how to use fractal governance. And my chapter 3 has been approved finally after months and months and months. But I kind of had to, in order to meet requirements, I kind of had to come up with let's see if I can get it. Let's see. You guys see that?
Yes.
So here's measuring appreciation, and you can see there's, oh, what do you know? Dan Singjoy is an actual, you've been cited, so good for you. So you talked about the Fibonacci sequence and how it adapts to each levels within groups. And the advantage of that is proportional recognition, documented, incentivizing excellent, documented local proportionality, document natural intuitive feel, document. But the challenge is most organizations, if you're especially dealing with commercials, say this is our bonus things. You start with here's how much we're going to give, just like we start with, okay, we're going to make 1,000 points available, 10,000 tokens, whatever we're going to use. But the idea is you have different numbers of participants at each level, and you have different groups because not all groups are weighted 6. So came up with weighting averages based on the ratio and the number of people, and then said, well, how do you do this fairly across groups? Because you have all these different groups with scalability and get a global fairness in that. So I talked about the points available versus weighted points for each level based on total number of points. And so I did a bunch of calculations and examples of how you come up with the weights and how you come up with the points. There's an example I did for a group of 100 participants and 1,000 available points, just as an example. So there's level 6. And in this case, there'd be 2 groups that aren't 6. So you have 2 groups of 5, and then the remaining groups when you divide up 100 participants. And so I got the participants, the weights, the points, and then the points per. So the idea is to give local proportionality within groups and global fairness across groups. So I actually had to document that and put that in there. So I have my oral presentation next week to actually defend this whole book of knowledge that talks about how we do this whole thing with a group of nonprofit volunteers. So it's very specific and spelled out. So I did a lot of math models, looked at 3 different ways of doing this, and now analyzed them all and came up with a way to actually calculate the points. And then I worked with Abraham on being able to use his tools to actually implement that. So that's been the most of my work, is talking about how we're going to educate people and how I can roll this out first in an experimental mode. So next week I get permission to move ahead, hopefully, by briefing this and the presentation. So the chapter's been approved, but hopefully next week I get permission to move ahead with my research. So that's pretty much.
All right. Well, congrats, Eric, on getting that part approved and all the great progress. That's awesome to see. And hopefully the next step will be approved too, and you'll be able to go all according to plan. So very exciting. Is that document that you shared, you screen shared, is that available? Like to read? Like
I can send it to you if you want. This is actually the first 3 chapters of my dissertation that has been, all 3 chapters have now been approved.
okay.
So the next step is just to get a test case to go train them and make sure my training works. And then after that, I go out and start getting real groups to volunteer, groups of 25 or so. I'd like to get one group of 100, but I need to have over 100 participants for us to get a statistical significance of 0.5, and I was 95% sure that the change in motivation is actually due to applying these points.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah, thanks for the added details there, and yeah, I'd be happy to check it out at some point. I know I've read some parts of your dissertation before, and eh, happy to check it out if you want, or I can also wait until it's more prepared. But overall, yeah, really looking forward to your progress, and appreciate you sharing and doing all the great work. That's excellent to hear, and of course, appreciate everything that Rosemary shared too. I didn't speak there, but of course, it's amazing, both of you.
All right, Harvesto Orlando, tell us your secrets.
I see Harvesto. He clapped before and then he said, please send through, Eric. He'd love to read it. Yeah, Harvesto's a researcher who's moved to the heart. And there's Harvesto unmuted now.
Hi Eric, hi Dan, hi everyone, hi Rosemary. Yeah, Harvesto here, and there aren't any secrets. I'm pretty much a researcher and copywriter, and recently I've been diving and delving into the superchain ecosystem, specifically optimism. Yeah, and it's pretty exciting, seeing a chain that is coordinating the store and exchange of value at this level. It's something I haven't seen yet in crypto, and I'm really excited to see or yeah, to see where everything leads to. Specifically, what I've been working on recently, like I shared in the past call, it's an article on Superlane, which is a collaboration between Hyperlane and Velodrome Finance to create more interoperability and interconnectedness between the superchain ecosystem or chains on OP, right? To create more liquidity and reduce the fragmentation that has been the challenging in this space. So it's not yet out, published. It's still under review and edit. I'm currently waiting on the last feedback from the person I'm collaborating with. Yeah, and concerning optimism fractal, I've been reading up on I think last week after the call, I was on Optimystics website, just learning more about the respect game, how it all works. Yeah, I would say I'm caught up on the basics, how the respect game originated and how it works, how it's coordinated. What I would like to learn more about is the governance aspect, like the voting aspect. I think we did some voting then, but due to I didn't come early enough, I wasn't able to participate. Like I'd like to know whether it's a token gated voting, the tokens involved, just the nitty-gritties about it. Yeah, I've also been reading up on the information about like fractal processes on the website. That's to get prepared for the research or case study that has been commissioned. And that's pretty exciting actually, because like Tada said, the freedom is something to look forward to or to enjoy, because I have to work at my own pace and create something valuable that the project or the initiative can use to foster more and better governance. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
All right, super cool, Harvesto. Well, Thank you so much for doing the research into the Optimism Fractal ecosystem, as well as the work you've been doing, I believe you said, with Velodrome and the initiatives going on around optimism in general. It's really great to hear, and I appreciate all your interest in researching. And as I said before we started recording too, I had the chance to look into some of your prior articles and your accounts, and looks like really cool stuff that you're up to. So looking forward to collaborating with you on this research. That's very valuable to have that kind of research in the ecosystem. And so, um, yeah, I suppose regarding your question about the tokens, real quick, there is the Optimus Vector Respect token. So we can go into more detail about another time, but that is optimistics.io/respect is the token that we use for voting and so forth. Although we also have OP token in like some of the different things that we do, like the Optimum Town Hall as well. And if you wanted, you still had like a minute left to speak as well. So if you wanted to say anything else, you could. Also, if you want, you could share your screen, or if you want, I could share a screen for you and pull up any of your work too, if you want to show anybody anything. But if you want to just pass it on, then that's cool too. But the floor is yours, Harvesto, if there's anything else you want to add before you pass it over to me.
No, I'm good currently, but like subsequent calls, I'll definitely have something to present. I think that's the meta. Everyone's doing that. I need to, so, yeah, thank you for the opportunity.
Sounds good. You're very welcome. And yeah, it's not necessary to present your screen. You could just share it and speak out loud, and several people like to do that. But yeah, generally, if you have a couple links to say an article you wrote or something you've been researching like that, and you pull it up in a browser and then you share your screen, then that can help people get a better understanding of what you're doing. So people who are watching or people in the room can learn. But yeah, if you want to do that in next week, then that's very welcome to join, and looking forward to learning more about your work then as well.
Yeah, sure. I saw Rosemary sent the link to voting. What should I log in with?
Yeah, so that you could either use an existing Web3 wallet, such as if you have a MetaMask account or something like that, which I'm sure you do, then you can log in with that directly. Or if you wanted to create a new account, then you can also do so. I believe it's linked with Privy, which allows you to create an account with like an email or like a Google account or something like that. So basically, you can use any existing wallet, or if you want to create a new wallet, you could do so directly in the app as well. And I suppose just I recommend using some sort of wallet that you don't mind, being out in the public, of course, too, and like linked to your identity. Yeah, Rosemary put out that message. Please log in to the app. Um, so I'll also open it up too, and then I'll give my presentation. And then Rosemary, thank you for starting that, or thank you for sharing that. And if you want to start up the room, then after I share my contributions, then we can start reaching consensus.
My apologies, Dan. I actually wasn't hearing you when you were explaining how to log in. It's cut off. Can you please repeat what you were saying?
Yep, no problem at all. So basically, when you hit that link, you'll just hit login, and then it'll either give you the option to on the bottom it says continue with wallet. And in that case, if you want to do that, then you can use an existing wallet like MetaMask, Coinbase Wallet, Rainbow, or Wallet Connect. And then, or if you wanted, it's also linked with Privy, which means you can also just submit an email or Google or Twitter or Farcaster to create a new wallet. So either you can use any existing Web3 wallet you have or create a new wallet, either Web3 or with Web2. And I just also recommended using some account that you don't mind being, publicly linked to your name and so forth.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I think I'll go with my Farcaster account.
Sounds great. Okay, well, I think I'll go ahead and share what I've been up to help optimism. And then after I speak, if anybody has any questions for anybody before we get into uh, the app and start ranking each other's contribution, then feel free to do so. Okay, so I'm going to share what did I do to help Optimism. Thank you, Rosmari, for sharing the timer. Some general context. I want to clean up this screen because it's a little bit too messy, but I have a little screen providing introduction to me, Dancing Joy, and just basically letting you know that I do a lot of leadership roles with Optimism Fractal, Optimism Town Hall, Optimystics, the team that develops the software, Eden Fractal and Eden Creators. So there's lots of things that go on behind the scenes that I'm not able to get across in this presentation. Working on both the event facilitation, hosting, coordinating with developers a lot on building the tools that are used for Optimism Fractal and like the Respect game and so forth. Doing a lot of community marketing work with Rosemarie, developing the websites constantly for all the websites, as well as strategic initiatives like fundraising efforts and general campaign development to raise awareness for practical decision-making processes and pro-social games and so forth. And lots of messages going on behind the scenes too, like private messages and stuff like that, and just building relationships up in the Superchain ecosystem in general. But with that, I'm going to share my weekly highlights and try to provide an overview of some of the exciting stuff I've been up to. And of course, you can learn more about my work in general at dancingjoy.com. So one of the things I focus on a lot this week is I applied for a Ecodev research fellowship at the Ethereum Foundation. I've been looking a lot into the wider Ethereum ecosystem, and so I made an application for this this program where I could do research. A lot of researchers in this group, apparently, between me, Harvesto, and Eric, do research into fractal democracy on Ethereum. So I had a project where I organized this, and I created, I suppose I can lead with, I made an article here about fractal democracy, the natural evolution of governance. And so I wrote kind of a pretty detailed overview about what fractal democracy is and why it's helpful. This is at optimistics.io/fractal democracy. You can also find it on the blog in the top right corner. And it has a detailed overview of the key benefits of applications, the foundation's evolution, the various communities who are developing. It doesn't go into a huge amount of detail about all the different communities. It goes into some detail about the implementation and tools with Respect Game and different apps and so forth, and ways to get started and join the movement. So it's quite a detailed article that I wrote to go along with this proposal I made to the Ethereum Foundation, and provides, a lot of the foundational capabilities and implementation benefits and so forth, and lots of overview about where it all came from with like the books and different things that sparked it. In addition to that, I also worked on there's a one-page project proposal to study fractal governance on Ethereum and study how it can help organizations and communities on Ethereum, help improve the protocol for Ethereum, both L1s and L2s, and went into the methodology and impact and so forth. And then I also provided answers on the questions about my experience with Ethereum and what I believe Ethereum unlocks and so forth. Of course, Optimism is scaling the values and the technology of Ethereum. So this is all quite aligned with what Optimism is doing. Also did a lot about describing the use case I want to focus on and so forth and why it matters for Ethereum. So there's that I applied for there. And then another thing that I did just yesterday was applying for Octant. So I believe octant.build is website. It's for anyone who's not familiar, it's a great community initiative launched by Golem where you can earn ETH rewards and fund projects you care about, aiming to be a sustaining global public goods funding ecosystem that balances the common good and individual financial empowerment. I've been following Octant for over a year, and I had originally applied back about a year ago, but I just decided to apply again for the upcoming Epoch 6. And so I made an application and answered all the questions, also focusing on, well, this one was about the Optimistics team, generally between all the events that we coordinate and host and all the tools that we develop and so forth, and provide a lot of details about all these different things. Also did a lot of research into how the system works. In addition, as Rosmari said, she took some days off today, so I took the reins a little bit with the promotions and did my best to make some cool artwork with actually some artwork she generated, and I messed around with it. I also tried playing around with Midjourney a lot, and I had some difficulty with it, so I gotta learn some tips from Rosmari. But worked on that, and then I also worked on following with the DOS about the Eden Fractal 2025 strategy that we have for nurturing transformative growth. That will basically be aiming to set a strategy for Eden Fractal and also these fractal decision-making processes in general to help coordinate our efforts and so forth. So I did a lot of thinking about that this week. And then also after Harvesto asked for a overview of how to contribute. I still am following up with that. So the fact that Tadas responded kind of made it so I could take a little bit more time because he responded a great way. But I'm also working on a contribute page, optimismfractal.com/contribute, that has like an overview of all the different ways. So that would be helpful for both people like Harvesto as well as people in general who might be interested in helping Optimism Fractal, planning to launch that on optimismfractal.com once it's done. And I worked on that in general. But that's still a work in progress. So that's it basically. And thank you all for listening. If anybody has any questions or comments for anybody, then feel free to ask now, particularly if it would be helpful for you to reach consensus in the respect game. And whenever we're ready, we can start reaching consensus. And I'm wondering if Rosmari started the breakout room or if I should do so.
I don't see Harvesto in there. I don't think. Harvesto, did you register?
I'm sorry, what? I didn't get that.
Did you register in the respect game, the link that I sent?
Okay, yeah. I just did with my Farcaster.
Okay, does it show that you're logged in now?
Let me check.
Okay. I see one account. I'm not sure if any. So this feature is new, how you can log in with Farcaster. We just had that added over the past few weeks, and I don't know if we've thoroughly tested yet. I imagine Abraham, who's the developer of this, but I see one account that ends in 0D that doesn't have a username or an email. So I'm wondering if that's your account, maybe if it ends in 0D.
Oh, well, I can see my wallet address at the top right
Oh,
corner, and then the
does it
logout.
end? Does it end on C1? Because I just
Yes, C1.
saw.
Yep.
Okay,
C1.
cool.
Yep, I see that one too. Okay, cool. So now we see you there. And if you want to shut that out personally, that'd be appreciated.
All right. So how do we get started on the governance?
Well, Rosemary's going to start up the room, I think. Unless she wants me to, then I can do it as well. And then I think in the top left corner, you should see a button that says play. And then momentarily, there'll probably be something that says like session number 60, and then it'll say
Yeah,
that you can join there.
on the top left.
Yep. Okay, session 61, if you click on join, then that's the one that Rosemary just created. And then from there, you should see 4 names and 4 addresses. Right now, the integration isn't totally working with Farcaster, so you can't actually see Harvesto's name, but you can see his account ending in C1, and then you can see my name, Eric's name, and Rosemary's name below that. Oh, and now I can see Harvesto's name as well. So yeah, if everybody's ready, if anybody has any questions, then feel free, but otherwise feel free to submit your vote so we can start reaching consensus. And just
So
to
Harvesto, now we are reaching consensus as a group on who we think did the most this week to help optimism. That is the question. And we start with level 6. Once we reach a group consensus, then we go on to the next level.
Yep, that's right. So vote for whoever you think based on what you heard and what you saw, who you think did the most help optimism over the past week now.
Okay, so one vote attendee for whoever each person thinks helped optimism the most, right?
Yep. So we will, over the course of the game, vote for everybody. After we vote for whoever helped optimism the most, we'll vote for whoever helped optimism the second most, and the third most, and so forth. But right now, what you vote on is whether you think me, Eric, yourself, or Rosemarie helped optimism the most, and feel free to vote for whoever you think deserves it the most.
All right, bet.
Okay, and so we have everybody's voted, and we have 2 votes for myself and 2 votes for Eric. So we need to reach consensus in order to move to the next level. So right now we don't have consensus. We have 50, even 50. We need to get at least 2/3. So if anybody wants to switch their vote, then they can, or if anyone wants to advocate either way, uh, why they voted for who they voted for, then you can feel free to do so. I suppose I'll go ahead and share my thoughts. I voted for Eric because I thought what Eric is doing is very exciting with the research and the paper, and it seemed like it was very thoughtful, and that can bring a lot of people onto optimism, as I think that the respect game is a like profoundly helpful application for optimism. And I also appreciate you collaborating with Abraham and Will. And I see somebody switched to Eric. So now Eric got level 6. And so now we'll start session for the next level. Or actually, uh, yeah, so now we'll do level 5. And Harvesto, you'll see that Eric's name. Yep. So Eric's name isn't there. So now we'll vote for who helped optimism second most between me, Harvesto, and Rosmari. Okay. And it looks like there's consensus for me at level 5, which is second most respect for today. So thank you, everyone. Much appreciated. And now we'll vote for level 4 to determine who helped out in the third most for this week. Okay, and it looks like we have consensus on Rosmari at level 4, which means Harvesto is at level 3. And also the way it works, Harvesto, is that we each receive respect because we reach consensus, and we each receive the top person or each successive level receives about 60% more respect, which is what some of the stuff that Eric was showing in his research. So now we reach consensus. Thanks everybody for the great game and all the great contributions. And if everybody can please submit the results on chain. Once you click the next button, it says Open Fraps Interface. So you can click on that, and that will bring us to the interface. Actually, I'm not sure if that button's working now. Oh no, it is working. It just I need to do it in the browser. I'm already logged in, I believe. But yeah, if everybody can please click that link and then submit it on chain, and then we'll have respect distributed according to those results.
Yes, but it's not pre-filled with everyone's account, so I will pre-fill it and I'll share the results in the chat.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Rosmari. Did the game make sense to you, Harvesto?
Also, you'll see that the rankings are not correct, like because there are two number 6, but I'll make sure when I copy paste the account for each level that I will about it correctly.
Yep.
This is a bug that is well known in this app.
Yep, good point. We're working on, I believe Abraham is working on fixing that bug. He's aware of it already. So we can head back to the community room whenever. Rosemary's going to share a link in the chat where she's going to, because the app is still in development, normally when we hit that button to submit on chain, it would just automatically open up a screen and then it would pre-fill those results. Actually, when the app is totally done, all we're going to have to do is hit one button. It's going to submit it on chain according to those rankings. But right now, as the app is being currently developed, it is just not totally done. So the way we get around that is Rosemary just shared a link in the Zoom chat. And if you could please open that up and then use your wallet to submit that on chain, then that's how we'll prove consensus on the OP mainnet.
And distribute respect.
And distribute respect. So we all get respect for all the great work we're doing for optimism.
I'm seeing an error, I think unhandled error, and I click the link.
Okay. Yeah, I also get an error it says unhandled error at the top left corner for me, and this says message error creating OR client and so forth. And that happens for me each time if I'm not logged in with the if I'm not logged in the browser that I try to open up the app in. So that's another thing, being that this app is under development. I suppose at some point I'll make it so you can be not logged in and logged in afterwards. But if you could try it again, Harvesto, where you log in to, or I suppose where you open up in a browser where you're already logged in with your, say, MetaMask or whatever wallet you use, then try opening that link there. Then it should work, I think.
Yeah, for me it worked, and I logged in with my MetaMask
Yep.
in my browser.
Well, I guess I should have created my accounts with MetaMask because can I try it on because it's my Rainbow wallet that's connected to my Farcaster. Can I try it on my Rainbow Wallet's browser?
Um, Yeah, so well, I'll just be clear. Right now, the app that you logged in, such as using Barcaster with, I think, Rainbow, that's not the app that you need to submit transactions with. So it's kind of like two different apps right now. Right now, we have one app, which is where we reach consensus, and then it opens up a different app where you can log in with any account that you want. So if you open up a different browser, you can either use your Rainbow wallet, or if you have some different wallet you want to use, whatever works best. It doesn't have to be the same wallet that you use to sign into uh, the respect game app that we just reach consensus, and then you can use whatever wallet you want to post it on chain.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So any wallets I have available to post on chain. Okay.
Yep, that's correct. Well, I hope that you enjoyed your experience with your first full respect game, Harvesto. And I
Yes,
suppose,
I did. It's quite fun and straightforward. Super.
your audio is cutting up there. What do you say? You said it's quite one, and then you said it's quite straightforward, I think?
Can you hear me well now?
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying that it's quite fun and straightforward. Easier than I expected. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, I really appreciate you doing the research into it as well too. So hopefully it all kind of clicked together after you got the experience playing it. And I hope to play many more respect games with you. And also too, uh, if you do more of that research over the coming weeks, then you can get higher and higher levels and more respect too. So, but much respect, and glad you enjoyed it. And I suppose we could head back to the breakout room, or the community room rather. So I will close out the breakout rooms, and we'll meet back in the community room. See you, Mr. Clappin. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
The off-chain component for that is for reading the base name value. But when you go and claim your base name, that's all done on the base blockchain. Like you don't need to mess with L1 at all. The only point that you need to mess with L1 is for like if you're the owner, like you need to be the owner of Optimism Fractal.eth on mainnet. That's the only point where you need to specifically deal with L1s. But then as your users, like tadas.optimismfractal.eth, you would be, I'm pretty sure you'd be on the Optimism blockchain the entire time. You wouldn't need to. But the maintainer, again, optimismfractal.eth, that needs to be on mainnet.
Okay, we'll look into this further.
Good luck, yeah.
And the time.
It's a lot. feel free to reach out. I'm definitely not an expert in it. Again, I just worked on it for a hackathon or two, and so I know just a little bit about what's going on there.
Super cool. Well, welcome back, everybody, to the community room. We're about to start up the town hall in a couple minutes. If anybody needs to head out at any point, then feel free. But we have another half hour scheduled for the town hall where we have some exciting topics on the agenda for Optimism Fractal and town hall and general superchain discussions. So hope that you'll all enjoy. If anybody had any comments or thoughts about the respect game before we head into the town hall, then feel free. Or if any had any other thoughts in your mind that you want to share, any reflections, then hope that everybody enjoyed the respect game in your breakout rooms. Sounds cool with whatever Jake's been building. Curious to see. I know he made a lot of progress with engagement.vision with the base names, and also I actually just got my base name like a week or two ago too. So it was quite an easy and good experience. So shout out to everyone at base for putting that together. So if nobody has comments, then I suppose we could just hop right into the town hall. If Harvesto, if you did want to share any feedback for everybody, it was Harvesto's first time playing the Respect game, and he said he enjoyed it. But if there's anything else you wanted to share, then feel free. You're very welcome. Harvesto says he's going to do some research into it, which is really cool. And yeah, but otherwise, I have the topics up for the town hall as well, so we can jump into it. And we have some the top voted topic is very interesting, so we could jump into it and have some discussions.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. All right, let's do it. I was also trying to like buy like a moment too, because I realized that I had something that I need to do. This has been a busy week for me because I've had stuff going on, family and friends stuff going on at the same time. Oh, I see Jake said need to go, but thanks guys. It was nice to hear everyone's contributions. Hopefully we see you all next week. Sounds great, Jake. Yeah, hope to see you. We'll be here and really looking forward. Ooh, I see you saw a link. I'm looking forward to watching your breakout room and seeing what you've been up to. It was great hearing your voice and hope you have a great day. Wouldn't have the heart. Very nice. Heartfelt Jake.